Both of my parents are musicians, and my dad made records. I was sort of exposed to the life of a professional musician kind of early. On tour with my dad when I was 7, just for a few weeks here and there on a bus, doing gigs, staying in motels, things like that. Things that most kids, I guess, don't really do much of. So that was my first exposure to it in a real professional way. And then I decided, I think really after I graduated high school, my focus really started to be on writing songs, which led to writing some songs for other people, but over time it just sort of building songs for myself. And it sort of just was a natural progression to make a record and put these songs out and perform. So I've been performing for a really long time, so performing is sort of was my first gig and writing the second, and now they kind of come together. I've known Justin Timberlake for a while, and he and I have been talking about making records for a long time. And what I think has really been surprising to people as I go out and play songs for them, and as I do acoustic shows too, is that none of the stuff on the EP, and really none of the stuff on the LP either, you couldn't listen to it and think, oh, that's a JT record. Like, it doesn't sound like a Justin Timberlake record, because we didn't really make a Justin Timberlake record. And he never sought out to do that with me either. I mean, he and I have been going over songs for years, and I mean, for him, he wanted to sort of help me make a record that would showcase my songs and that would allow me to sort of do my own thing and kind of tread my own path. And he and Charlie, while they're really different, Charlie Sexton is a totally different kind of musician than Justin. They're both extraordinarily talented, and they both have really consistent and similar instincts, which neither of them expected. Because I met Charlie independently, and of course I already knew Justin. So I had to kind of tell each of the other one, I was like, you have to trust me on this, because you and Justin, you totally think alike, and you and Charlie, you think alike. You have different backgrounds, but your instincts are so similar. Like they used the same kind of language to describe my songs, and for me, that was like the key. Like, they're talking about it in the same way, and it panned out. Like, you get them in a room, and they both might think to incorporate a different instrument, or they might think to take it a slightly different direction, but their bullshit meter, for lack of a better term, it's really consistent. Both of them really want good quality music, and that's what they both sought to create in this record. I'm still sort of, I feel like I'm still being introduced to my audience. Like, I'm still kind of learning who they are, and I'm consistently surprised at how broad a spectrum that audience is. There are people who like Justin records, who like my songs. They may like some songs more than others, but they may hear some sort of kinship. People who listen to Charlie's records, or Austin records, blues records, or some sort of stuff, right, song-centered albums. They may listen to my music and get something different out of it. But I think people who, so far, it's people who like a song that tells a story, or who a melody that can get in their head, but not like drill in their head, like a crazy hook. Not too crazy poppy. I mean, I don't know. I think it's people who like good music, who listen to music outside of just one box, who all different genres, and I don't know. Does that make any sense? Maybe after this tour with Joan, I'll be able to tell you a little more about who they are.